Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and here we are. I'm joined with regular guest on the channel, Daniel Leschance. You've seen him lots before, and we're heading into a podcast video today. And first of all, to start off what this is going to be all about here, ever since I was a kid, I've always spent a lot of time near the water. I was always swimming. As we covered in a video once before, I've always done free diving. I've never actually fully scuba dived, but I've done free diving. I hold my breath for a long time and swim, usually about 30 feet down, and sometimes I'll have the rock and I'll let myself sink to the bottom and carry the rock, walk on the seafloor kind of a thing, and then it kind of gives you some momentum to start on a free dive, right? Yeah. Always went swimming a lot, and always spent time on the water doing all kinds of things. And this town, the Sunshine, just to clear up where we are, we're in Gibson's Sunshine Coast, BC, Canada, and the summers here are phenomenal. I mean, the summers here, never mind the winters and stuff like that, but the summers here rival that of some places even in the tropics. And so just a quick story here. So when I was always swimming as a kid, and I was a fan of not to plague the sharks with a bad name with movies like Jaws and stuff like that, but being a kid watching movies like Jaws and watching these shark documentaries and stuff like that, I'd be swimming in the water. And I wasn't that afraid, but I was curious. And, all the adults, like my grandma and my mom and all the adults around, and then I would always say, well, what about sharks around here? And I'd even ask other adults along the beach and other kids and stuff like that, and they would always just say, oh yeah, there's no sharks around here. And I don't know, I listened to them and I was never really that afraid, but there was always just something scratching at the back of my head when I was out there that, why would they not come here in the summertime? Why? It's such the water temperature is incredibly warm in the summertime. It's becoming warmer due to global warming itself. And it's a perfect coral. We even have a coral reef out front of Armour's Beach there, right? It's a perfect sanctuary for the great white sharks to come in. So what do you think on this, Daniel? What's your take on how this could be?
I don't think there's any shark around here.
You don't think there's any sharks around here? Why is that? Explain why.
Well, because I've been in the water a lot, and if there was any shark around, I wouldn't be speaking right now.
Well, I certainly can tell you.
The white sharks are still...
I certainly can tell you I've been in the water a lot more than you have, Daniel. I can certainly tell you that for a fact.
Well, I don't know. You gotta wait till you're my age in order to say that.
Well, fair enough. But no, I don't know. This isn't to put a bad name on the sharks. No, they're not out hunting humans. That's not what this podcast is all about. But I just personally, some
people... Do you think there's sharks around here?
Well, I think there's, I don't think they're in abundance, but I think it's possible that there could be pockets of sharks.
There is sharks, actually. I remember fishing for salmon and having a lot of sharks.
We have the six-gill.
They're 4 or 5 foot.
We have the 6-gill. We have the sleeper shark. And further off Vancouver Island, we have the salmon shark, which is very similar to the great white shark. So we know they're here. Mm-hmm. But so there are sharks here. But what I'm saying is great white sharks specifically.
Right.
Specifically because, scientists know partially, marine biologists and scientists know partially where great white sharks go, but they've had probably the worst track record of trying to track these creatures is almost any other shark because they're so elusive and they cover so much ground and we don't quite know exactly where they go and when they go to these places. But some other adults at the time said that, yeah, there are great white sharks here, but they only pass through briefly, usually lethargic, way out past the islands, way out almost in open sea. And I just... Yeah, I know, and there was one recorded case. There was this fucking scuba diver. He was scuba diving in the Antarctic, and Other scientists have tried to say, "Oh yeah, no, it was a whale. They got you. You were mistaking it." But no, he swears. Like, and even when they tested when they tested the bite wounds on this guy's arm, it was most similar to a great white shark, and the guy swears it was a great white shark. Some divers that were getting back onto their boat spotted a great white shark in England in about, I think it was like '08 or '09 or something like that. There was again, agreedly to what other people said, there was a lethargic great white shark found at Davis Bay one year that was dead already.
In Davis Bay?
Lethargic, pretty much dead already, but in Davis Bay. Yeah, but that was in the wintertime too as well, not in the summertime.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're a local, you know,
Davis
the summertime
Bay would be a good place for a white shark.
Yeah, well, that's this whole coast. That's what I mean. I mean, it's really not to inflict fear or anything like that, but...
Well, if they'd really get stuck in the inlet, it would be dangerous for anybody to swim in Purpose Bay. Like, because they'd get vicious and angry. Because,
not really, that's kind of a myth. That's...
Well, if they'd be to go through the Skookumchuck, through the coast.
Most likely not, unless a bull shark would be the best candidate to go up the Skookumchuck, but there most likely no way a bull shark could get around here. We're talking about great white sharks specifically because they are elusive enough that the scientists do not know where they roam.
So they are already in Davis Bay, that's what you're saying.
Well, they was spotted in Davis Bay once, a lethargic half-dead shark. But basically, I've just always thought, you know, in the summertime, this is the perfect place. And granted, I've never seen one. I've spent so much time in the water. I've never seen one. I don't really know that many people that have. But still, like, so I'm not saying like they're in abundance all the time everywhere, but there was just always something scratching at the back of my head that, you know what, one day a diver or a researcher or a fisherman or a swimmer like me is either going to get mauled or they're going to see a fucking great white shark around here because it's a sanctuary for this thing. We got their food source.
It's the way you want to go anyway.
It's the what?
It's the way you wish to go anyway.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's relevant that I take upon this quest.
This is okay. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking for a shark on the Sunshine Coast?
Well, not necessarily looking.
A white shark.
A white shark. Yeah. Well, I think somebody's going to see one eventually anyway, and I think the water temperature is certainly not in the winter, but I think the water temperature in the summertime would perfectly be able to sustain at least a small pocket of great white sharks, and all of their food is in abundance here. We got the seals everywhere. We have sea lions, not the stellars, the California sea lions that come in from California every year. Plenty of salmon, plenty of fish, like everything that the great white sharks eat are here, and especially with the maybe hopefully.
Well, no, but my solution for your issue is to get a boat, and then you can track them down. And once you get one, get close to it, then put a tag on it, and then you can track them.
Well, that's been done many times before, but they are, as they've cleared up already, they're an elusive enough creature that does not always work.
I'll come with you. We'll put a boss ball on it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in. We'll go hunt down a shark, man.
Maybe one day we'll have a boat again.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
We should talk about how this town would be like the town in Jaws.
I've already covered that on the channel. I'm talking to somebody else who does not want to be part of the podcast, but insists on giving these outside opinions.
Don't forget about this.
Yeah, no, I've discussed how, and that is another thing, though, very relevant that we'll talk about, is when I reviewed the movie Jaws. And if you really want to know, like, we're not going to get into that here, but if you really want to know where, like, because Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time, but I scientifically have a legitimate interest in sharks and have legitimately studied these creatures to a fair extent. And so if you really want to know what I think of the movie Jaws and how I quantified and where I stand on that, then just type in my YouTube channel, go to Jaws movie review, and that's on there. But this town, again, as I said, in the summer times, everybody flocking in here, and the beach culture that goes on around here, and all that kind of stuff.
Jumping off the dock is out of line now.
Well, no, it's heavy beach culture around here, man. Everybody's going to the water all the time in the summertime when they're here, man. There's jet skis out there, there's boats, there's swimmers.
You remind me to wear my bathing suit.
No, but the town here, if somebody did get mauled by a shark, the way the town reacts in the movie Jaws is exactly how this fucking town in Gibson's is great. Half the businesses would be like, all the cops would be all serious, like, oh yeah, we gotta shut the beaches down and stuff, and all that. And the mayor and the frickin' all the local, especially down in Lower Gibson's, all the businesses down there would be like all going to court about it, like, oh yeah, no, we can't shut the beaches down. It brings all the tourists and the supply. Totally, oh yeah, big time. Yeah, guaranteed. I wouldn't surprise me too. I said that in the review. Oh yeah, guaranteed Molly's Reach would be heavily against. They'd be the first advocates for don't shut the beaches down. It's a myth. Totally. But
the patio, the deck in the front, they're right by the water.
Yeah, no, guaranteed.
All the boats activity on Lower Gibson, my God. Put a shark in there, a white shark in there, be a disaster.
Guaranteed that's what would happen. Absolutely. Yeah, but and it wouldn't even surprise me too if like Quent and Jaws, right? Like some like fucking rugged fisherman type dude was all like, oh yeah, I'll go out and get the shark before you give me $5,000. I'll go get the shark. Oh yeah, man. That's how it goes. So what's your take?
That would kind of be like, fucking, what's his name there, and his partner, Dolphin Marine.
I know that I don't know them off the top of my head, but I know the guys you're talking about. Yeah, guaranteed some types like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they'd be like, oh yeah, the shark needs to be taken out of Gibson's and all this stuff. Oh yeah, man. I'd be right there. I'd be deliberately jumping in the water, hoping I fucking get my fucking forearm snapped or something, so that I would cause the controversy with my camera documenting it. Play it up. Oh yeah, vicious shark ravages Sunshine Coast Beach. Oh fuck!
You gotta be careful what you wish for. Lessons of life. Careful what you wish for.
Well, so what's your take on this? What as somebody, like, I know you're not into this as much, but yeah.
Well, considering how much time we spend with our feet in the water, if there was a shark, it would have eaten us already.
Well, but that's the thing is, like, we're joking a bit back what we were just talking about now, but the sharks, like, this isn't about to plague the shark with viciousness or something it's not meant to, like, it's like sharks rarely attack people. You're more likely to get struck by lightning on stuff. Like, we know all that stuff, right? Like, it's not to plague the shark, but scientifically, I just think it's possible that great white sharks roam these waters.
I suppose it is. I'm not a scientific, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, possibly even water temperature and the water, the hurt fucking temperature, glacier melting, all of that.
Yeah, I read a
means
thing.
That type of fish and all the life, the aquatic life, is going to come up to Canada because it's cleaner than the States and all the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to get some visitors.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you imagine a white shark down at the dock when we jump off the dock?
That'd be mint. I'd be right on it, man. I'd be right on it.
White shark would get pretty excited having all a bunch of buddies fucking like
this. Oh, I'd be right on it, bro. Totally.
It's just like going to a trout with a buzz bar.
Yeah. Well, I read an article not that long ago. It was from some local university. I forget which one, but it's one of the ones out in Vancouver or something like that, or out in one of the hotshot ones, right? And it was saying that researchers there, like global warming, researchers and like weather people and marine biologists and that kind of collaborated on a experiment there, and they think that the temperature change in general worldwide is creating more and more of a sanctuary for the sharks to start coming around these waters. And the funny thing is that if you look at the old if you listen to old fisherman tales, like even on the Sunshine Coast, like it seems like all of these, like the modern ones say like, oh yeah, like are generally more.
I feel like it could be, since they're in such danger and they've been murdered and slaughtered for their fans, that this Canadian waters could be a safe haven for them.
Yeah, because that kind of stuff is not going on around here. Yeah, the shark.
Yeah,
the shark fishing is not going on in Canada like it is in some other South America, in some other parts of the world.
Countries, whatever.
Yeah.
They need to be protected.
Yeah.
And,
so this would be, absolutely a safe haven for them to come. That's very true.
Yeah, I've been in the ocean in Mexico, and I wouldn't want to be surrounded by, like, I've been in the ocean where there's no ground anywhere around 360 degrees. And you're way the hell out there. He's got the GPS. He knows where he's going, right? Father-in-law.
Yeah.
He knew where he was going, but you turn around 3 times in the boat, and fuck, I didn't know where I was. Which way to go back? It's like, okay, Japan's this way.
No.
Yeah, so it's kind of, and we had turtles and all kind of life. But I'd hate to be even in his boat. I'd hate to be surrounded by a whole bunch of sharks.
But people swim with sharks. I think the main thing to get across here is that sharks are cool.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. The main thing that we're trying to portray here is that sharks are a cool creature. Like, this isn't supposed to be like, I've cleared this up many times now. It's not supposed to be some fear-inducing thing about sharks. It's a scientific talk about, like I've said, about how it's possible that sharks could roam these waters, and there are several things gearing towards it. The global warming, the random sites, even not before necessarily, but in times when the world wasn't even in the state that it is now, that these sharks were spotted in these different areas of the world that they were not supposed to be, and how the shark fishing is not going on around here. So it could be a safe haven.
It would make sense that, it would be a safe haven for them. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But then there's a natural, once again, because of the global warming, there's a natural mutation. They're moving. The sharks are moving, but the animals are moving down the mountain as well. You notice that?
Well, true.
So,
yes, very true.
So it's all about the global warming. They're not comfortable anymore. And the white shark, well, are they around? I'm not a scientific, but I don't think they are.
No?
No.
I don't know, man. Well, when we get out there and start doing some more underwater shit, then
some underwater stuff, and let's go.
Well, and you'll see, fucking great whites are gonna come out in one time, man.
That's our destiny. That's the way we're gonna go. It's not a bad way to go.
No, it's not. It's pretty epic. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad way to go. And then Lower Gibson, you're right. They would, on the Sunshine Coast, anywhere. Davis Bay would be a heaven for them because they could get into Chapman Creek.
Yeah.
And just sneak around in that 2 feet of water that there is there.
Abundant food source everywhere. The seals don't have any predators around here.
Yeah.
Right? The whales are coming around more and more now than ever, but they're still not.
Just all this fish, all the other fish. And the salmon and the trout that's in the creek coming up and down the creek.
Yeah, well, and I mean, even when talking about other sharks too, like, I think it would be really hard for a bull shark to make it to these waters because they don't travel a lot. They prefer shallows. They like the shallow water, and they do travel upstream a lot, but that's generally in places like California and that too. I don't think that, again, even because the rivers are a whole different monster here. The rivers are always going to be colder here. And there's no way they could probably handle that water. Even the sharks, I will say, one area is that the great white sharks would probably not want to venture to is around the estuaries and stuff like that, where the fresh water meets the ocean.
No, they wouldn't like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No, they need the salt water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the salt level is another big thing for them too, right? Because down south, where their natural living habitat is, the salt water is a lot saltier.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
So,
And there's saltier waters further up the coast, like say Pender Harbor and stuff like that. You ever hopped in that water before? Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, of course,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been up and down the coast.
Yeah.
Have you ever been through Sakina Lake?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Where the cave is to swim out to the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there?
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, check it out.
Well, I think you'd have to dedicate some time for that one. Yeah, because you're going full on into the. Yeah, no, that would be probably a cave diving endeavor. That would be a whole different monster.
Do you know the story, right?
No, I do not.
Well, it's another story, but
What? No, not tell the story. What is it?
Well, in the old days, the natives, when they were getting ready to marry their daughters, they would send the boys through the cave. If they could swim on the other side, they could marry the daughter.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That adds some extra lore.
And there's a whole bunch
to
of
the place.
There's a whole bunch of drawing on the rock as well across the lake.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. Well, no,
I'll show you that sometime.
No, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
But can you imagine going through the tunnel? You almost out of breath and you ran into a shark. What do you do then?
Yeah. Well, again, if it connects to the ocean, well, that's probably where you might find one in the wintertime, though, like a lethargic one trying to hide in there, like in a warmer, enclosed area, right?
For sure, secure place.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just see this spooky, frightening, lethargic, half-dead shark sticking out in the tunnel, staring at you. Oh, yeah. Huh.
No, I have, I found it on the side of the road, but I have a breeder. So we need a tank.
Oh, yeah, to do some actual diving.
Yeah. But I do have a breeder. I don't know if it works, if it's good, but
no.
That's easy enough to find out.
We'll probably have to get the tanks tested though, if they're old.
Oh, they're old.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta get them tested. Yeah, for sure, you gotta get them tested. Yeah. All right. Well, you can probably get them refilled. Right.
Well, there's no tank.
There's no tank.
There's no tank. It's only the breeder thing and the hose.
Oh, okay.
The regulator and shit. So we need a tank.
You need a tank, yeah.
Well, we can rent tanks.
Yeah, we can rent tanks. Or we could probably jerry rig some sort of like not a full on dive, but we could jerry rig something that goes up to the surface, right through it,
And no compressor.
Yeah.
No compressor on the backpack.
Fish tanks on there. Oh, you could do it, man.
Yeah,
you can do it. No, I used to do that actually when I was a kid. I would connect straws together. I would get a whole bunch of straws and I would connect them together, right? And I would seriously, and I would have a snorkel, and I would like fucking crazy glue them, like marine glue them to the inside of the snorkel, right? I would attach like a larger piece of plastic to the bottom of the straw, so it would attach to the fucking snorkel. And you can dive down. No, I did this, okay? You can dive down about probably a good, like, at least 15 feet.
No.
And you can breathe through the snorkel. But like you can't move around much, but you can like explore the one area that you're in and actually study around there.
Okay, that might be a white shark bait. You got a long struck.
You can do it, man. I've done it.
What you do if you do it's gonna be shark bait.
No, man, we'll do. Okay, in the summertime we're gonna chum some sharks, man, and I'll get right in the water. We'll get in the dinghy. We'll go into the center and between Woolridge.
Sweet.
and I'll hop in the water and you can start dumping all the dead fish around me, man, and I'll be in the yeah, totally. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Well, your mom is gonna kill me if you die, dude.
No, she won't.
Oh, yes, you would. Sorry, Bridget. The white shark came around.
Kirk got fucking mad.
Fucking straws.
I'll make sure I don't get mad. I'll just make sure I lose not even my full leg or full arm, just a chunk of my arm. Come back with a souvenir.
You want to run to the hospital?
Oh yeah,
we gotta go.
There's some fucking worse reasons to be in the hospital than that, if you ask me. That's a pretty badass thing to be in the hospital. Yeah.
Kirk's dripping. He lost a limb.
No, I'll bring a bunch of weapons in with me. I'll fucking be all geared up. I'll make sure that I don't get mad. I'll just lose a bit of my fucking arm.
You're funny.
Daniel's chumming. We're chumming the sharks now. Fucking
If he bites you, I'll kill him. I'll kill the fucker.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to bring you with me.
There you go. Loaded shotgun on board. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're definitely got to get it back in the water.
Well, it'd be nice to, we will get back in the water. We'll have a boat, though.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
We'll go boating.
Yeah, man.
Next summer, we're going to be on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously on the water.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always dive off and come back on.
Exactly. Yeah, no, yeah.
And you can go places where, rarely anybody goes.
Well, yeah.
That's the beauty of a boat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, snorkel around and dive around and fucking fish.
Mind you, underneath the dock, not that many people go underneath the dock. I watched that movie the other day. It was great.
The one that we did.
Yeah.
No, that's a good spot too, man. That's a mint spot.
Yeah, it was nice and sunny that day.
Yeah, but it's nice and cool underneath there when it's hot out everywhere else. Yeah.
Shit, it was hot that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a good movie.
Yes, I'm interested in seeing that too. Call of the Wild, Harrison Ford.
Yeah. We'll do a review on that next month.
Yeah.
Well, this month.
Whenever it comes to our theater anyway, it's usually a bit delayed.
Yeah, of course, we're on the Sunshine Coast. Everything is delayed around.
Even the shark attacks are delayed.
The shark study was it's a study.
They're enjoying slower Gibsons before the attack.
What was that guy about in the water? Jacques Cousteau?
Mm-hmm.
What did he have to say about white shark? And David Suzuki, what does he have to say about white shark?
Well, I mean, they're not necessarily. Well, I mean, Jacques Cousteau was, I guess, but he was operating in a different time. For one,
but they do different show about different things. Do they have a show about their point of view on that? No.
Well, they most likely do. Again, Jacques Cousteau was operating in a different time. I'm sure he had something to say on the matter, but it might be slightly dated now. Like we're talking about a modern.
Interesting to see the difference in between back then
and then now, right?
Now, reality with Suzuki, maybe, or.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Suzuki kind of covers all kinds of stuff, right? But I don't know if he. I mean, the nature of things covers like all kinds of different animals.
Is a good one,
there's bound to be something about sharks on there. I'm not sure, but I mean, all those guys, they're all classified to me anyway, just in the overall, like when you say scientists and researchers that are researching these things, like it's all of their minds put together. And I mean, there's slight differences in their ideas, of course, like always, but I think it generally all falls along the same pattern.
Yeah.
Right? But I think more and more of those people, you're right, are gearing towards, agreeing to something like what we're talking about now.
Yeah, the
per
global
se.
warming and the mutation, not the mutation, but the how do you call it, the movement of the animal and the species that are moving around
Yeah.
to adapt to the global warming.
Well, and how long have you been on the Sunshine Coast now, Daniel? 30 years.
32 years.
32 years. Yeah. Okay. So, and I mean, it hasn't always, like, historically, like, it's really not. I mean, I think the cold winters we have and the rainy winters we have, for so long, and other than the 3 months we have of solid sun, I think that kind of jades people with labeling it as cold and like too, well, not necessarily cold, but too cold around
Well,
here
that's good.
for something like that, right? But the summers have always been, like, you can agree, like 32 years ago when you were here, the summers were still fucking hot.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
summers were still hot, and
It's blistering hot here,
and
man.
it's in the winter. It's raining like hell, but at the end of the day, you try to shovel rain, it doesn't work, right?
Well, yeah.
It's not heavy. It's not an obstacle in your vision. It's not. It's not cold. It's not. I mean, the snow is up the mountain. If you really want snow, you can go skiing in the afternoon, cut your grass in the night.
Well, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
the Sunshine Coast. That's the life on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah,
right?
so therefore, a unique rotation of wildlife is already bound to surround the area in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Right? So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Whether it's in the water or up on ground, there's certainly a mutation and a movement of wildlife moving around because, well, first of all, the development, but the pollution and all the rest of it on the water as well.
Yeah.
So the white shark, are they around? It could be. It would be a heaven for them, but they don't have much of a brain, do they?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
No, definitely.
They're not dumb. They're not like what was said in the 70s, man. They are not dumb.
But are they
intelligent
as smart
creatures.
as an elephant, perhaps?
No.
Because an elephant has a really good memory. Remember?
Well, they're fish. They're not mammals.
Right.
So mammals are, again, bound to have more going on in their brains in general.
Or whales
right?
are really smart too.
Yeah, well, whales are mammals as well.
The mammals, yeah.
Yeah, they're not fish. Same with dolphins. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a shark's not a mammal then. It's a
It's
fish.
a fish.
It's a fish. Yeah.
Breathes underwater. Yeah.
No.
Look
That's an interesting one. I guess I learned that in French a long time ago.
a bit to transfer over to English.
I guess so, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, so what was the conclusion on you think they're around?
Well, basically, I mean, yeah, how do we conclude this? I mean, we've pretty much covered everything here, but yeah, I mean, basically I stick to it that it's possible that great white sharks could roam these waters, and that if one person did get attacked, this town would be exactly like the town in Jaws. It would be a safe haven for them due to the lack of fishing and whatnot. There has been the global warming thing, and there's also been reports of great white sharks in areas that they were not thought to be, and they're elusive and hard to track in the first place. So I think it's conclusive. Not necessarily conclusive evidence, but it's a conclusive theory that is at least relevant to discuss. What's your conclusion?
Well, I think that you have a point in the matter of the. My conclusion is that I guess there could be some shark. I haven't never seen one. Not white shark anyway. But because of all the previous reason that we just talked about, I think that, yeah, absolutely, they could roam our waters. It would be a safe haven, clear water, a little bit colder, but Yeah, I guess I'd kind of changed my mind on the subject.
Well,
They could be around.
right on, bro. We'll gotta get back in the water, and we'll see if we can ever come across a shark, brother.
That's right, let's do it.
And you can look forward to that because, in general, besides that, we're in this summer. We're definitely going to be getting back in the water, and so some underwater videos are definitely in the near future for the channel. So look forward to that, and thank you so very much, people, for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to hop down to the comment section and give any of your thoughts, give any of your criticisms, give any of your theories. Did you like this? Did you not like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think we're
Thumb up or thumb down?
yeah, do you think this is a relevant conversation? Do you think we're a bunch of fucking idiots? Whatever, all that's welcome. Hop down to the comment section, and I hope to hear from all of you people. Again, I'm your host, Kirk Prosick. This is Daniel Leschance, and we thank you so very much for watching. Tune in next time.